This is another Extreme PNE summer update, June of 2025. The theme I want to focus on today concerns Theo Mawene, who is part of about 98% of Preston fans who aren't really aware of what's happened here. So I want to try and highlight yet another huge cataclysmic mistake that's been made by the club. As I understand it, Theo Mawene has been sold to Brentford for £750,000. It's somewhere in the region of 500 to 750k. But I'm trying to give Peter Ridsdale the benefit of the doubt because he went on record as saying that the transfer fee was a significant amount, unquote. So let's say it's 750k. Now let's put that into context. Theo Mawene is just about to turn 18. He is the best youth prospect we have produced since Ty Dolan, which was about 4 or 5 years ago now. And we, the club, contrary to everything they've said, have just given him away for a truly pathetic fee. I'll just put that into context for you. Back in January, Millwall, same size club as Preston, they sold one of their young lads, Romain Essen, 18 years old, to Crystal Palace for £12 million. And then let's just backstep to the season before that, last summer it would be actually, with Leeds United, okay, a much bigger club than us, but they had a fullback, Archie Gray, 18 years old, that they sold to Tottenham for £40 million. And then the season before that, Blackburn Rovers, our neighbours who have this conveyor belt of talent that they keep producing, sold Wharton, I think he was 18, to Crystal Palace for £17 million. Then, put that into context, those fees that were negotiated by those clubs for players of the same age as Theo Mawene. One of the key differences being that those players I've just mentioned were given a chance to prove themselves by their respective club managers. Unfortunately, at Preston, we had Heckingbottom and Stuart McCall, his sidekick, who completely ignored Theo Mawene. They showed him utter contempt for the running period, during which time we played the last 15 games, we won one of those games only. And as I mentioned, I think in the last podcast, the experienced pros paid their 10, 15 grand a week, were turning in woeful performance after woeful performance. And it comes back to that would have been Theo Mawene looking from the sidelines. You could see it visibly in his face. He was looking there at these awful performances, wondering what the hell he had to do to get into the team. The lad has natural abilities. He has the ability to receive ball and actually go on the attack and dribble past players. That's an unusual skill to have nowadays, and it's highly valued. And this club, our club, Preston North End, Peter Ridsdale, has just given him away, literally given him away for £750,000. Unlike 98% of Preston fans who weren't probably even aware of Theo Mawene's skills and the significance of this transfer, I was in an absolute rage because I thought this sort of nonsense had stopped. It's not, it's ongoing. I was in such a rage that I sent an email to Peter Ridsdale, and I can tell you verbatim what I said. I actually stated, "Dear Mr. Ridsdale," it's not Peter because he's no friend of mine, it's Mr. Ridsdale to me. And I just stated Theo Mawene, ! And then I stated it was a request. When can I meet you and Heckingbottom and McCall at Exton? His reply within half an hour on the 19th of June at precisely 19:56 p.m. was, I quote verbatim, "No, none of us have any interest in meeting you." So, try to reconcile that with us being told that the club is open, transparent, they are open all the times to meeting with fans. Particularly Peter Ridsdale's gone on record as saying any fans can go to see him anytime they want to, yet he refuses to meet myself. I can tell you now, it wouldn't have been a very pleasant meeting. Niceties would have gone flying out the window because this was another act of incompetence. And it just happened just a few weeks after Heckingbottom and McCall had actually forced Kean Best, our 19-year-old England left back, they forced him out of the club, didn't offer a contract contrary to what had been promised, and now he's joined mighty Chelsea, who are European contenders, on a free transfer. Just compare those two players, those two youth players we've got rid of, given away. The amount of money, £750,000 if that, compared to the 12 million on Essen at Millwall, the 40 million for Gray at Leeds, and the 17 million quid for Wharton at Rovers. It just beggars belief. It is incompetence beyond belief. And yet this man, Peter Ridsdale, this charlatan Peter Ridsdale, is still in situ. The big question being, why the hell can't Craig Hemmings realise what is going on here? The background I've come from, US multinational companies, international marketing, you all know about that. I've banged on about it long enough now. That level of incompetence would have resulted in somebody being fired very early on. It wouldn't have been tolerated. Yet at Preston North End, a provincial football club, it's clearly acceptable. And also the fee received for Theo Mawene, 750k. I'll just read this out. It was the Craig Hemmings last week end of season review. I call it the State of the Union address to the plebs. That's us. And I quote Craig Hemmings: "Player trading is one of the areas that can potentially unlock a windfall opportunity." Then he goes on to say, "If the right offers materialise, for our players, we will look at the best deals we can for players and club." Craig Hemmings, could you explain to us why you've just accepted £750,000 for 18-year-old Theo Mawene, the best youth prospect we've produced in 5 years? What is going on? Again, allow me to put it into context. What can we do with £750,000? Basically, not a lot. Particularly when you've got our rumoured interest in 21-year-old winger forward at Salford City, mighty Salford City. I think he's called Namai, or Mai. They are demanding at least £1 million to £2 million for that particular player. That's Salford City, who are existing on average gates of £2,000. This means the amount of money we've just received for Theo Mawene basically enables us to do nothing in the transfer market. Another question I've got is this: how is it that it's all these other clubs that come and cherry pick the youngsters from Preston North End? If it was the case that that happens to us, and then we in turn go out and do that to clubs below us, where we can spot the youngsters coming through at lower level clubs. One outstanding example that we missed out on being centre half Branthwaite, who several years ago was at Carlisle United as a 16-year-old before he joined Everton. He's gone on to play for England, and now he's being talked about as a £60-70 million centre half if he's ever transferred to Manchester United. Question I've got: our youth academy guys knew everything about Carlisle United's youngsters. Why was there no tip-off to our powers that be within the club to go out and sign this lad before Everton got in there? We should have known all about him, and we should have moved damn fast. Just think, okay, we wouldn't have got 60 to 70 million pounds for him ourselves, but we would have got a hell of a lot of money for him if we'd sold him, and that would have basically paid off half the Hemmings family investment in the club so far. That being the case, as I say, this is a quick update, so I'm bringing it to everybody's attention. 98% of you, possibly 99% of you, do not understand the huge mistake that the club has just made. And that would be coming back to also playing a huge part in the departure of Theo Mawene and Kean Best for Peanuts. That would have been at the request and the agreement of Heckingbottom and McCall themselves. And then we have Peter Ridsdale going out there being quoted in the media as well. It's difficult for us to compete. All these clubs, a lot of them have got these payments, these windfall payments from having been in the Premiership. They're getting about 150, 200 million pounds over a three-year period. And then when we have real assets on our hands, we basically give them away for peanuts. It really beggars belief. I'll just forecast now what might happen next. We've currently only got two good youngsters. Paziek, the left back, 19, so he's now at senior pro. I think he signed a pro contract. He's a good lad. He won't be given any opportunities at all, and he'll end up departing on a free transfer. The next outstanding prospect we've got is 17-year-old Stowell, the goalkeeper. No doubt the big boys will be circling around. I've already heard rumours about him being shipped out to Burnley several months ago on a week or 2 weeks trial. It will be the same route. Stowell, who is the best young goalkeeper we've produced since Alan Kelly Jr., will no doubt end up joining somebody like Burnley at the end of the day for 500,000 to 750,000 quid. And on and on and on go these mistakes. They're repeated, and Peter Ridsdale and the club show absolutely no capacity to learn from their mistakes. Why do I complain so much? It's quite simple. The same mistakes are repeated time after time. Okay, that's the third summer update. We'll see what happens next.